how to come out of negative self-talk and self-sabotage. It's about you firstly acknowledging that our mind is like a courtroom. And there are two lawyers in your mind right now. One lawyer is on your side, okay? On your side, coming out with reasons why you're so great, why you should win, yes? Another lawyer, though, is going against you, coming up with all these reasons why you're not good enough, why you will not make it happen, fill in the blank. Two lawyers in the courtroom called your mind. The one that wins is the one you pay the most. The method of payment is your attention. It's your attention. The one you have been paying the most attention to, that is your predominant voice today. True or true? Why is it easier for us to pay attention to negative voices? Well, it's a survival bias. We are programmed for survival. So think about this. We have all got a negativity bias, as in we can skip many positive news, but if there is a negative news in front of us saying we're all about to die again, we're going to pay attention to that negative one, right? Even if there's 99 positive news, that one negative news will stand out amongst that. True, by the way. So our mind, think about it, it's programmed to always be noticing these negative thoughts, more so than positive. And the more you strengthen that focus, attention on that negative thought, the more you create what's called in psychology as a mood congruent attention bias. What does that really mean? Negative thought, we know, leads to negative emotions. True. But from the negative emotion, that further strengthens your focus on negative thoughts. You ever notice when you feel negative, you think very negative? It's a never-ending spiral. It just goes round and round and round. So the more you keep on feeding your mind all these negative thoughts, of course, before long, you're trapped in the thoughts itself. So think about this. How can we transcend this? How can we free ourselves? Well, firstly, it's about realizing you do have freedom of choice. You can take back your free will from your set of programs. It's possible. But realizing it's just a program, it's not necessarily you. So here are some mental habits for you to consider. How do most people think in today's day and age? We think using memories. Memories, understand, is rooted in your past. Problem is, some of us have gone through negative pasts. So that means memories is not a useful source of thinking. We want to learn to think different. And that can come from you listening to something empowering. But you injecting some new ideas in your mind, you can begin to think different. The more you repeat any form of thoughts in your mind, the more eventually it has to be ingrained. Why? The mind is designed to save energy. Otherwise, of course, if it's constantly always awake trying to process the same thought, it's going to use up precious energy. Making sense? Quick example of this. Imagine there's a fire and you see a car on fire, right, where you live. First time you see it, it's freaking shocking. You're paying attention to it. The second time you see it, you've seen it before. Third time you see it, you've seen it before. Fourth time, fifth time, 10th time, you're now expecting it. It's no longer shocking. So your mind has just ingrained that that's just reality. That car's always on fire. Making sense? But you can use that same programming for you. If you just consistently listen to something empowering, eventually it will be ingrained in your mind. It will be ingrained in your mind. Your mind has to turn it onto autopilot so it can save energy. So that's the first step to training your mindset well. Yes? Now, the second step for you in terms of really being able to get out of this state, let's say, is about you adopting a new way of being, thinking, acting. Why do we think the way we think? It's because it's congruent to the identity we have. Why do negative people be negative? Because they're a negative person. That's how they view themselves. Why do people who procrastinate? Because they view themselves as a procrastinator. Why do joggers jog and get angsty if they don't jog? Because they are a jogger. So it's about you now becoming aware of who do you see yourself as? Who must you now see yourself as?